That was a good old-fashioned two-clicker.
Ooh, a two clicker. A cookie clicker?
Yeah.
And there we are.
Live chat. Lucky Bat. Howdy.
Get to put myself in the live chat too. I want to see all the swear words and all the
Andy
horrible
Crimson.
things people say.
Damn you, Lucky Bat. And here's howdy, folks. Hi. I was just watching the original Star Wars, sometimes called Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
And now movie. You hate Star Wars?
I hate it now. It's the worst. There were moments. I haven't seen that movie in a few years, and there were moments that like there are things I noticed, like for some reason Harrison Ford says the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
Which makes no sense whatsoever. I think maybe he figured it was a more spacey name.
Probably drunk that day.
Yeah, he probably was. The Falcon.
Michael Spitz, howdy do?
Howdy do, guys?
Interesting. Did you get through the whole thing, or you watch like what?
No, probably the first third.
First third. Neat. Michael Spitz watched episode 6 today, and it was really good. Now I semi-understand Star Wars.
Number 6 is Return of the Jedi, which that one's pretty good. I need to rewatch that one soon. That one I remember having mixed feelings about, because it's a little rougher story-wise, but it was at a point where the technology was getting a lot better. I mean, the first one is perfection, but in 1977, where they had a tricky time pulling everything off. Empire Strikes Back is a perfect movie, and Return of the Jedi is a perfectly adequate conclusion. The only problem is Harrison Ford and Princess Leia don't have anything to do in that movie, except I guess have fun with Ewoks.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. Dark Morning Films, howdy do?
How do?
I mean, it feels like you're copying Michael Spitz. It's a little rude.
Matthew Stoleness, is that pigment? Nope, just good old-fashioned Vallejo Earth.
Ah, a classic paint.
Yeah.
Right up there with Vallejo Stonewall Gray. That's a classic.
Yeah. Michael Spitz, to the prequels, I must go. The CGI is absolutely amazing. I mean, the prequels are pretty well made films. A lot of
Just
the
look at
stuff
that Jar
looks
Jar.
really cool. Yeah, oh, Jar Jar. I mean, he looks amazing. And I'm watching it on Disney Plus, and so they have the special edition. And there's a great line where, in the famous scene where Harrison Ford talks to Jabba the Hutt, which he's not supposed to do until Return of the Jedi, but then they recreated they took a deleted scene and put it back in the movie. And there's a great moment where Harrison Ford turns to Jabba and says, "Jabba, you're a wonderful human being." And that made a lot of sense when Jabba was played by a human actor. It doesn't make as much sense when it's Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, that is a weird line.
I mean, it's because that's what they had, and they couldn't cut around it.
I mean, I guess now they could just make up the whole scene CGI and have it perfect.
every person is CGI. It would look amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's smart to leave the Jabba the Hutt reveal until the last movie, You hear about this guy for 2 movies, and then you finally see him, and he's a big slug.
Yeah.
I feel like it just works.
I mean,
Happy
I'm not
accident.
going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with George Lucas.
That's true.
So, he's a genius.
Can we have some more rocks in front of R2-D2? I feel like it's not believable. He's hiding behind those rocks. I think we need more rocks.
Mm-hmm.
CWQ, I live. How's everyone doing? Doing pretty good.
Aaron Ferguson for the painting competition. Is there any limitations on basing? No.
Nope.
Go wild.
Go hog wild.
Exactly. Yep. Somebody had a really good idea for maybe a future one where you go to the basing playlist and you hit shuffle in the first one. That's a really good idea, and that will end up maybe in the next one.
Probably
a future one, because that's a really good idea. Honestly, it should be in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's just an Eons of Battle tradition. Is you pick your colors based on the Space Marine song, and then you pick your base on the basing playlist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a true randomizer.
Oh yeah.
Jubles played some Age of Fantasy the other day. It's a really fun game to just casually pick up and play with wargaming newbies. Age of Sigmar or Age of Fantasy? Age of Warhammer Fantasy Battles?
Yeah, exactly. It is very fun.
Michael Spitz. At the end of episode 6, there was guns celebrating in one of the cities. It was beautiful. Yeah, that was there in the original, if you can believe it. Exactly. I think Solo means it as an ironic insult. I mean, that's how it is now. But it has been retconned. Matthew Stolness. Got my Horus Heresy characters today from Forge World today. Ooh, neat. There's some Forge World characters that I could get behind. Porter Rabo looks really cool, even though I know nothing about him. He's a Primarch of a Legion, I think. I think the Sanguinius model looks bad. I think the Sigismund model looks bad. I think the Reboot Gilliman model looks bad. Horus looks amazing. Horus is really cool. I can't remember the other ones. I should do a video because I haven't read Horus Heresy yet. So I should do like a video called Noob Loser ranks all of the Forge World characters. And since I have no idea, everybody will just get really mad at me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just normal, though.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Ferguson, the Lion is so cool. The Lion's a pretty cool model. Some of the dude, oh boy, my friends are pissed at me again.
What'd you do this time? Jubal's Age of Fantasy is the one-page rules Age of Sigmar / Warhammer Fantasy reminiscent game.
How many pages is it actually, though?
Yeah. It's a little hard to believe that you can make Age of Sigmar simpler.
It seems pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the army building, if you just take away most of the units.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that is compared to Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. I think, though, I was watching some Pleasant Kenobi, if anybody knows that tuber, and I totally agree with him, and I think this myself, that I don't hate the codexes, but I think all other books that have rules in them are complete garbage and shouldn't exist. Like, all the supplements and everything else is complete trash.
Compendium.
Erratas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Although, what's his name? Uncle Adam, though, brings up a good point that really, you can just ignore all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
And that it's fine. I suppose if you want to play in tournaments, you can't. Although, God, who is playing in tournaments, honestly? Like 1%.
Yeah, probably.
Fine, from
Probably
Connor.
numbers.
Are there any guard units that you want to run with Genestealers? Probably heavy weapon teams, because it's a nice, cheap way to get some weapons on the board. And Sentinels, although Sentinels are technically a Genestealer unit too. And maybe Chimeras, because I think they're a pretty cheap and quality transport. Xenobagoo! I think the original take, Ford was talking to an actor who was standing in for a hairy alien because they hadn't finalized design for Jabba and he was still an alien of some kind. Interesting. I've seen the original deleted scene, and yeah, it's just a guy. He's in a costume though, and like he's all made up to look. He's just kind of a fat guy in a big furry shirt, a jerkin, if you will. So I guess they were probably figuring they were gonna figure it out later, and then they watched it in the edit and they're like, "Oh, this scene sucks," and so they cut it out. And it works much better without it. But then George was like, "Oh well, I think their 20th Century Fox is giving me a lot of money, and so I think we can take this scene, we can put it back in. I can put in Boba Fett, and you can look right at the camera."
Where are those rocks in front of R2, by the way? Yeah.
I don't like the weird noise that happens when we first see Obi-Wan. Can we have a different weird noise? I don't think either noise is amazing. But the new one is clearly, it's like a weird, like a trumpety musical note.
He's a genius.
He is. The man, the myth, George Lucas.
Exactly.
The maestro.
I defended myself in an argument, and now it's like I'm not allowed to do that. No, never defend yourself.
No, yeah.
Always just take it. Jubles, it's like 16 pages.
Yep.
Okay. So.
James, right? Would you ever consider mini agnostic games like Reign in Hell, Stargrave, or Rangers of Shadow Deep? Or are you into games that require you to use their minis? I'm kind of into games that require you to use their minis because I feel like miniature agnostic games survive on the goodwill and enthusiasm of a community, whereas games that have miniatures are trying to get you into them. And so I feel like they're trying harder to exist because like I kind of want to get into stuff that's I can have some assurance that it'll keep existing. Obviously anything could happen to anything, but like, Games Workshop games, Malifaux, like real games. I might try some miniature agnostic games. They might be fun. But I feel like I have respect for games that are trying their darndest to exist. And like coming up with schemes, like cool models and interesting books and role-playing elements and stuff.
Yeah, I can't play a game unless, especially I can't play a game if it doesn't cost at least $1,000.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if it doesn't cost a lot of money, I don't think I can do it. Unfortunately. So yeah, pretty much only Games Workshop for me. And when I play Malifaux, I buy all of the Bayou faction, every single box.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of boxes.
Yeah. But I don't know. I appreciate the consumerism in the give and take of you make an interesting game, you make some cool models, you make some halfway decent rules, and you make up a world, and I get to be like, I suppose.
And then you get the shill for it,
Yeah.
like a dirty shill.
Now, there's certain things that aren't good about that. Like I feel like with a miniature agnostic game, I think people would be willing to overlook almost any flaw. But if you paid for it, I think people are unwilling to overlook any flaw whatsoever.
Right, because you got to get your money's worth.
Yeah,
out of it.
you gotta. It better be worth your dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it's all free, you know what? I think we'll just house rule it. It's fine. It'd be really funny if one-page rules, the Space Marines are still really overpowered.
That would be pretty funny.
We can't change it that much. Lucky Bat. There was a tournament sign-up at the store today. Ooh. Interesting.
What if Games Workshop is secretly making one-page rules?
That would be something.
I feel like we should make a video about that and just lie like most people do.
Mm-hmm. Brett Parson. I think that they've changed the weird noise at least 5 times. Now I'm off to look for that video. Yeah. And the tricky thing is if you change anything, now you've created 2 versions, and so you've introduced this new element for me to critique. Because I don't think I ever would have even thought of the noise. But now that we've tried out so many noises, I have opinions.
Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley. Jay, have you seen Zona Alpha minis? They're really cool. I've heard the name Zona Alpha before. I don't think I've ever seen anything about it. ZNBQ. I think it's hilarious characterization that Han Solo would repeat the same excuses to the boss as he gave to the henchmen, but it doesn't make the scene more watchable. Douglas Overbeck. I really like the one-page rules Lizardmen. They look way better than the Games Workshop's outdated sculpts. There's sort of real models for one-page rules, right? Like they've had stuff commissioned that you can 3D print.
I think that there's something.
Yeah. Yeah. The current Lizardman range is old. And I think it's held up well, but there's definitely some things I would love to see redone, like the Saurus Warriors. I don't know, one of the better kits I would love to see redone, which is the like the T-Rex guy, because it kind of just looks like he's riding like a toy dinosaur.
Yeah, certainly does.
ZWQ tips: Fortinet Chiroptera, competitive army, fund money, also dense surreal. Lucky Bat is actually huge in the tournament scene, and they play most armies.
Exactly.
I think the only army doesn't play is Sisters of Battle.
The luckiest of bats. Michael Spitz, yo, I went to the dentist yesterday. They must be real. They're not.
No, they're not.
D. Jacobs, love the Cobalt Keep Army box video. Do you guys get a commission from the purchases through the link in the description? I am going to be ordering some stuff from there, and I am hoping you can benefit. Oh, we benefit, all right. Big fan of the show. Cobalt Keep.
Yeah.
Yep, so supporting them helps support us.
James, right? My issue with required minigames is when the parent company makes the must-have game meta-chasing models that cost mega bucks. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, but I wonder how true any of that is. Because don't you play your opponents? I mean, I guess you could get into a situation where your opponent buys the big cool thing, and then you have to buy the big cool thing, and then they buy a big... Like, it's... Is that really what happens? Like, in a competitive sense? Because that's competitive play is the only play you see. Like, you don't see the game of Jimmy versus Rebecca, who play every Wednesday. Like, you never ever hear about that game, which is most games, but you hear all about what's hot in the meta right now.
Yeah, I mean, people play in their basement.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. Or on their kitchen table. And
So
their
you-
mom gets pissed that they spill soda all over the place.
Yeah. And they got Cheeto dust all over the floor.
And
And what's interesting is sometimes the new model just destroys, but every now and then there's a new model that sucks.
Weren't people upset about one of the new Necron models that's bad that comes in Indominus?
Well, yeah, well, I think a couple of the Indominus models weren't amazing, but the reanimator sucks. I think it still might suck. And the it wasn't in Indominus, but the Hexmark Destroyer was not that. Although I heard people play with it, said it was really fun to play with. But some channels said that it was complete garbage.
Yeah.
But I feel like you only have to be as good as your opponent. And how many people are actually good at 40k?
That's true.
Kino Ness. Does mini agnostic just mean that the game doesn't believe in minis?
Yes. Interesting. Kino Kinones, Elder were top tier meta most of 8th, and the bulk of their army is old enough to drink. It is interesting. I mean, that goes directly against that point. That you have to buy the latest and greatest.
Matthew still knows. What does meta even mean? I hear that thrown around enough. I'm about to Andre the Giant people. Meta is when people want to validate their opinion. They're like, this is really good in the meta. Yeah. The meta just means what's good. Although I think it clearly, like, some things are going to be better at other things. Like, models that are going to do you really good against orcs are probably not going to do as amazing against custodies. So, I don't know. I think having played tons of games of 9th edition, I think most people would be fine just playing with what they have. Also, doesn't everyone buy new stuff? Like, especially when you're playing the game? Like, if you're an active player? Because, like, how many people build their army, and then they're like, this is it, I'm going to play for the next 5 years, but I'm not adding anything. You can't make me.
Yeah.
Because I think when I was playing all the time, I was also buying models all the time, and the new stuff would get slotted in, and the old stuff would kind of get moved out of the rotation. Because it's just kind of what's fun, is having the newest, the new thing. Michael Spitz. Speaking of meta, a bunch of people from my store canceled the Florida tournament because of Rona.
Interesting.
Dips, competitive genius, sir, fortunate Chimoptera Esquire tournament tutoring fee. It's possible that Lucky Bat might be on the stream. It's coming up.
Oh my goodness.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but it's possible. And I'll make sure that he gives lots of tactics
and animal facts.
Animal facts.
Both of those things. I hope Lucky Bat has been studying the zoology books. Getting some animal facts in. I only want to watch it. Michael Spitz, I saw you in the wild today on a corn video. Good to see EOB fans out and about. Oh yeah. Every time we look at the comments, we see people that we know, which is pretty funny. Whenever, at least I do this. I don't know. I think Jay does this as well. Whenever I see people from the stream and stuff, I always reply to them.
I do too.
I just think that's funny. What are you doing here?
Ominous Mecha, a legendary opportunity just arose, and I'm set to take it. There may be a Taunar on EOB Complete in the coming weeks. Matthew Stolness, I had the Sisters of Battle Combat Patrol before it was released. No you didn't, because the new Combat Control also comes with a Rhino. And the old Sister of Battle box did not come with a Rhino. But I think it's sweet that box has been turned into the Sisters of Battle box, because it comes with so many units. And a Rhino.
And a Rhino.
James Cameron Wright. The metagame is the game about the game. Fielding minis that specifically wreck what your opponent fields is a meta play. You are gaming the game before you play the game. Do you follow that? I get that, but it comes down to who you're playing. Like, I guess if you're planning on rocking up to the store and facing anything, then, and
You're gonna lose.
But like, if your friend always brings Mortarion, and every game with Mortarion is a slog, and they usually win, like, don't you just tell them, hey, don't bring Mortarion so much.
Mm-hmm.
And what? They're gonna be like, no, and then you're gonna be like, all right, well then we're not gonna play. Like, doesn't it always sort itself out? Like, do you just play every week and get tabled every week? And I feel like
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a social contract where both people try to enjoy the game.
I am here to have fun.
And if one person
As
is
they say.
flagrantly breaking that rule, maybe it's a little bit less the game's fault and a little bit more their fault. Maybe 50-50.
Yeah, probably 50-50. Although maybe they're just a whiz and they have all the math
That's
perfect
true.
and they just know.
I remember when 8th edition first came out, there was one YouTuber that really, really was upset about it, and they said that they had not lost a game of 40k in 3 years. And I was like, that is the worst thing I've ever heard. So you're no fun to play with? Like, you should
Or
lose
they're
half your
lying.
games. Or they're lying, yeah. Gina, salutations, my midnight lamentations. How are you all? Michael Spitz, did someone say get tabled every week? May or may not be the story of my life. Melee Ultramarines, sheesh. That is true. Also, I mean, it depends on the player, but some people can lose a lot and still have a lot of fun. Like, I lose a lot. Especially because I love to mix things up, and so if I win a game, I'll still never play that list ever again. Just because I like variety. And if I lose, I'll never
Although-
play that same list ever again.
I mean, I feel like in the past 3 months, I don't think you've won. I don't think you've lost anything though.
No, probably not.
I think you've won a lot of games.
Yeah.
So I've had more fun because I've lost.
Yeah.
Like when we played Age of Sigmar for the first time, I had way more fun because I lost.
Aquino Quinones. Unfortunately, my local game store is a ITC hub, so I need to be competitive in the meta to last more than 5 minutes on the table. Oof.
Sounds like fun.
How many people, everybody in chat who plays games, how often are you playing against like a buddy casually, and how often are you playing at like a store with randos, like on a game night or something? Matthew Stolness finished our Necron versus Tau battle tonight. Necrons are incredible. Ooh, just tell that to the Necron Facebook group. They'll all disagree and say that they're low-tier trash with a win rate of only 46%.
The Boner Jams 03. Would you ever make a Warhammer 40k battle report video?
Yes, in fact, it is one of our Patreon goals. If we can reach a certain level of support, we will create battle reports, and they will be the best battle reports on the internet.
Exactly.
And you know what's out there. You know we have some competition, but ours will be the best.
Exactly. Guaranteed.
If we can reach a certain amount of patronage.
Exactly.
ZWQ, discussion of 40k competition and Star Wars has brought me too much negativity. I'll see you guys later. Good night, folks. Good night, ZWQ.
Good night. Let's see. Some of the do it. I only play against my friends. Champ Styles, it's always a buddy. I have yet to play at a store. Kino Kinonis, 50-50 buddies in stores. Matthew Stolness, I only play it against my buddy. 50-50 buddies store. I don't have any friends. Let's see.
James is right. Gaming with randos is death. Friends only.
Exactly. I mean, it really seems like most people just play with their friends.
Mm-hmm. King of Canones. One of my goals is to take Chaos Knights, currently bottom tier with the lowest win rates, and win a tournament. Nice. Chicken Hug, so good. Games Workshop will send the DMCA halfway through the first video. Absolutely. I hope so.
Yep. Yeah, the whole battle report's going to be made with copywritten
It will be.
content from Games Workshop. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Don't call me Shirley. You don't need battle reports. You have the Space Hulk battle report. You've given us enough.
Exactly. We also did a bunch of battle reports in 2014, and those are really fun. Yeah, if you ever want to watch those. I think we have a video, God, what was the video called? Where we react to some of our old videos?
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. Jake Harley, the Necron Facebook group is the most butthurt place on the internet. It is. Champ Styles, I would actually watch your battle reports. All battle reports I've seen so far are snores. Yes, ours would be very different to what's out there because both of us don't like battle reports.
No.
I think currently the best battle reports are produced of that style, where you see everything. And ours would be a lot more like narrative. Like, I would hope that if anybody could watch one of our battle reports and just enjoy it, especially if you don't know the game or the rules, and you would just kind of get kind of a nice narrative little story, and you'd get a sense of how much fun it is to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it would look cool.
Oh, yeah. The video I was referring to is We All Have to Start Somewhere. That's what the video's called. And here, for your viewing pleasure, watch this after the stream.
Yeah.
Give you a link to it.
Michael H., you can't meet any cool new friends if you never play with randos, though. That's a good point.
Wow. At the time, that was probably our longest video. I just remembered us talking about it, because I remember it's 16 minutes long. And I remember,
oh, wow.
remember us talking, because I think it was like 25 previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember us talking like, oh, should we cut it? This was like within our first 4 Wednesday videos.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute?
Mm-hmm. Don't call me Shirley. Will there be guests on battle reports, such as Goobertown, Midwinter Minis, Into the Murder Basement? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
not now, not when we start.
Like, we might have people we know who can, hang out with us for 8 hours.
Exactly.
I can't imagine how we would do it, though, with, like, a guest, like a visiting guest. There
Yeah,
just
we'll have
wouldn't
to
really
see.
be a way to do it. Also, I think, I don't think we would feature really in the videos. Maybe a little bit in the beginning and at the very end. But I think once you got into the action, there wouldn't be a lot of humans. And definitely no rolling dice. Oh my gosh. As soon as they start rolling dice in a battle report, it's like, what is happening? 4 6s! 2s! Alright, take 6 flesh wounds. Ominous Mecha. Narrative battle reports are cool. Yeah. Champ Styles. I enjoyed the Facebook groups for Star Wars Legion, but man oh man, is there a lot of that guys in the group. I'm a part of a few Legion groups, and I've actually found it a pretty chill place compared to, like, 40k groups.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are a little bit more nice.
Yeah.
Phalanx. Is X-Wing 2nd Edition worth getting? I have tons of 1st Edition and enjoy playing it, but everyone in the hobby shops I play are using 2nd Edition. I mean, if you think you get games of 2nd Edition in, I would switch to 2nd Edition. I'm getting into 2nd Edition. I have the new stuff, I just don't have the new starter box. But from everything I've heard, second edition is very similar to first edition, but just cleaned and polished. And all of the old ships that used to suck have now been brought kind of up in playability. So second edition sounds awesome. And I like the app-based building system, which means that all the rules are correct, even though it's been like 3 years since second edition came out. So yeah, second edition, thumbs up. Also, they now have clone trooper and droid ships, which is pretty cool.
I like it.
The Wizard MF 40k in 40 minutes is really well done. It is incredibly well done, but I still can't watch it. It is just not for me.
I feel the same.
Michael Spit, since Lucky Bat masterminds the channel, can we get a sneak peek hint of tomorrow's video? I can say this much. It'll be a Models and Memories weekly. I shouldn't say that, but I'll just because you guys are here, I'll let you in on that little nugget.
Exactly.
And speaking of little nuggets, chicken nugs, you can just play a game with them, then see if there is a way to keep the models to film on your end, sending them back and then record lines over Discord or something. Yeah, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Exactly.
What we should do, like if we were doing something with Goober, we should just play a game ourselves, and then record it, and then create lines for the other person. And so then Goober could just read them, and then he could be like, uh-oh, darn, I'll get you next time. And then just sprinkle them in. I'm sure it would make for a very, very like realistic and believable gameplay. Darn. And like we just reuse clips, so like he rolls ones multiple times throughout the game, and every time is the same clip going, darn.
Exactly. We just cut to him fishing for some reason.
Michael Spitz, the problem with battle reports is I don't know the stats of anything or the rules, and they're like rolling for 3 ME. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know the stats of my army. And I especially don't know them when they're being like said at me.
Yeah.
Lucky Bat, there might be some models. There might be some memories. Who's to say?
Flimbo the Dude, get Alex Jones on the Bat Reps and have him cuss you out over your Overwatch hits.
Yeah!
I think that'd be a great idea. I like it. He's a wild man. Kinones. Jay loves the 90s Star Wars edits so much he wants to model his Bat Reps after them.
Precisely. McClunky. I think I saw the McClunky for the first time today. Because he goes, Chesto do busta ista clankto napota. And then, like, they've, like, stretched the scene a little bit so that he has time to get out McClunky. And then he gets shot in the face. I guess the logic is, like, McClunky means I'm gonna shoot you, and that further gives Harrison Ford license to kill him.
That's a pretty good guess. Michael Spitz, well, if y'all ever make another Space Hulk Bat Rep, I need advanced warning to make another masterpiece review video of the evolution of them and trashing it.
Yeah. Miss Mecha, so apparently the Catachans are going to have to deal with an Ogre Abominatus class threat riding a Space Hulk, according to another splash text in the Psychic Awakening book that teased Beast Nagas. Interesting. Bernie Marceau. LMAO. McClunky.
Flip of the dude. McClunky just means, haha, you weenie, I'ma shoot you, bye-bye, and Han Solo hates that.
Mm-hmm. Champ Styles. Isn't Rodion just sped up Portuguese or something? I don't know. Something I should probably look up, but whatever. I don't think it's anything. And speaking of anything, I need some pigment powder.
I think George Lucas was having a vision, and that's what happened. It just came to him. Down from the heavens. Jay is now searching and searching for those delicious, delicious pigment powders. I always keep my my Cheeto Dust nearby. Pretty much at all times. I feel like it's a little bit more responsible to do it that way. Flimba the dude. Portuguese is already speedy.
Mm. Nick, while Jay is gone, show us the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you won't see much because there's no light bulb in there.
Yeah. Imagine a prison bathroom. Yeah.
And then 50 times worse.
Exactly. Pee everywhere.
Champ Styles, I found it. Rodion is based on the real-world language Quechua. Quechua.
Interesting. Flimbo the dude, if you see a guy with a beard talk to you in heaven, know it's George and not God. Exactly.
Oh, George.
What do you think George Lucas is doing right now?
Well, he told us all what he's doing. He's making his own little personal movies that are just for him, and no one will ever see them. Nah, he's probably playing Fortnite or something.
Yeah. What a lie. He's not doing that.
I love it. He says he's making movies, and then he catches himself, and he's like, "Oh, but no one will ever see them. They're only for me."
He's not making movies. So is he just hiring tons of people, and then
doing it all himself?
Like, is he acting it? Because that might be great.
That could be great.
Might be fantastic. MS Paul probably arguing with nerds on Reddit. LOL.
I hope so.
He's totally on Star Wars Facebook groups.
No, he's probably loving it because a lot of people are not liking the new movies. And so he's like, "See how it feels." And then he's like, "Ha, Disney. There's no Disney to sell Star Wars to this time." I think Red Letter Media put it best when they said, "George sold Star Wars to the only people with enough money to buy it."
Yeah, I don't know who else could buy it. He could have sold it to Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bigger media company though than Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And is ethical and nice and kind of a corporation.
Ragdoll Rat. I love Genestealer Cult, but I don't have the skill or patience to paint them. They are tough. They are not easy. I think these 6 though weren't that bad. I think I could do this more. I have I have like 30 neophytes painted, and I wonder if there's some way to turn it into a video like repairing lots and lots of infantry, because like the paint's a little too thick and a little too plain, and I didn't do anything particularly well, and I need to rebase them. Maybe a 24-hour challenge or something. God, that would be really hard to do.
Yeah,
but maybe that's part of it, because it's impossible.
Matthew Stolness, Jay's George impression is spot on. It really is.
Need my coffee.
Michael Spitz. Yeah, Michael Spitz. Nick, Jay, Lucky Bat. Where'd you get paints that you don't get in store? You do miniature market.
Miniature market or
You do
I don't
eBay?
remember if
I've
Frontline
done-
Gaming
I've done-
sells paint.
I
I think I've only
stuff
bought
on
models
eBay.
from them. Yeah, I bought stuff on eBay. I never buy on Amazon.
No, it's
It's
like
never a deal.
$7. Like a paint that would be $3 will be $7. And then there's shipping.
Don't call me Shirley. Should have sold it to James Workshop.
Yeah, exactly. I like how they've embraced the James Workshop. Games Workshop has embraced the James Workshop, which is pretty fun.
Limbo the dude, Matt McAlzine. Genestealer cult are grim enough that if you paint them sloppy, they still come out looking good. That is true. If you had like a really dirty paint scheme, it would probably look pretty good. I have like kind of a little bit of a clean color scheme, which is my problem. But it's how I think they look really good.
Flimbo the dude, going through some stuff with my friends. Glad you guys are here to talk with me about Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Blobby T. Can't stay, but I have one thing to say. Pangus.
I agree. %, agree. Matthew stolen this. I don't use Amazon anymore. I use it as a search engine.
Don't come and show you. Can we talk about Trek instead of Wars? I love Star Trek. I'm almost done with TNG, and I'm not sure which one I'll do after that. Maybe a little Deep Space Nine, maybe a little Voyager. Probably not the original series. I can put up with the camp of Next Generation, but I don't think I can go back further. Bernie Marceau, Genestealers, more like clean Stealers.
Yeah.
Nicholas Brakefield, you bros love your videos. It really taught me a lot about painting miniatures. Nice.
Beautiful.
Brett Parson, Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Champ Styles, what are the top 3 models you want to see Atomic Mass release next in Star Wars Legion? Well, it seems like they've knocked it out of the ballpark with the, surprisingly knocked it out of the ballpark with the LAAT and the space truck, because people are loving those models on Facebook, at least. Like, I see people buying like multiples of them and painting multiples of them, and it's like the most expensive kit they've ever made. I've heard that there's a little bit of dissatisfaction from clone players because the last clone release was Wookiees. And I feel like there's other clone things they could make before Wookiees. Maybe the clone 3-legged walker would be a cool one. Or like a clone gun emplacement. The Bad Batch would be really, really cool and tie in nicely with the show.
I want a Bill Burr from Mandalorian.
Yeah!
That's what I want. That's all I care about.
Wookiee clones? No, Wookiee warriors. And a Wookiee speeder a Wookiee flyer that you see for 3 seconds in Revenge of the Sith. Ominous Mecha. The rest of the Clone Wars gang. Yeah, give us Chirrut and Imwe, you cowards. I'm sure they'll make them. Power Surge, you guys gonna paint a monster like your Wendigo on stream? I really love that model. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good model.
Yeah.
Also, probably just an amazing 3D print.
Yes.
Really, really good.
Nicholas Breakfield. Would you ever consider painting D&D type figures? Yeah, I painted a D&D figure as a commission once. If it was a cool enough model.
Mm-hmm.
Master Shake 64. I'm ready for the Republic to get guns next time. You know what? Forget everything I said. Don't come out with anything else. For the Empire, for the clones, for the Republic, for the droids, I only want to see guns. I want them to be the biggest faction with the most diversity with units. Only guns. I'll accept if like they want to take a break from guns. I would accept Ewoks, but they better get right back onto guns. Or Goongas, as George Lucas calls them.
Exactly. Now say it in his voice.
Goongas. These guys are gonna fight the Goongas.
Mm-hmm. Need a coffee.
Bernie Marceau, I'd take guns for sure. We need Jar Jar. We need him.
Yeah.
We need Jar Jar.
Oh boy, do we.
Present threat. The problem with D&D figures is that any figures can be a D&D figure. Exactly. You see this guy right here? This guy. This is my magician. Mm-hmm. He's a level 5 wizard. That mining laser is his wand.
Michael Spitz, wait a minute. Why are those two on smaller bases?
The neophytes are on... Genestealer cult neophytes are on 25s, but the acolytes who carry the heavy rock weapons are on 32s. As far as I know, they are all based correctly, although now that you bring it up, I'm a little nervous. Games Workshop. Warhammer 40,000, Xenos armies, Genestealer cults. They're very small models. I'd be really shocked if they were moved to 32s. Yeah, they're still on. Wow, they're moving up in price a little bit. They're still on 25s, except for the heavier guys carrying the heavy weapons. They're on 32s.
Interesting.
Ominous Mecha. Apparently Kill Team is getting regular releases. I saw that they've released like a schedule of when things are going to come out, and I've already seen some videos about how it's awful.
What?
And they're trying to get you to buy stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah. They always have been.
Are you trying to say that all sales and business is trying to get you to buy things?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Amazon is operating completely altruistically.
Yeah, well, they are. Especially, yeah, especially them.
Don't call me Shirley. How do you base these wonders? Is there a video on this channel? There is not. I'm always nervous about the basing videos. That if it's not like the coolest thing in the world, it's just gonna be nothing. Like who's gonna click on kinda brown base? How do I sell that?
How to paint a kind of brown base.
Kyle Seeley, say level 5 wizard in George Lucas's voice. Okay, guys. I have my coffee, and I need my level 5 wizard so that I can make my movie.
Perfect.
Champ Styles, the best thing about Jar Jar and Legion is all the dioramas people would do. I try to have him with the battle droids caught on his ankle. Michael Spitz, what's the difference between the thick boys and the small boys? Well, the thick boys are a different level of cultist. So the way a Genestealer cult works is a Genestealer lands and he sticks his proboscis in like the head of a person, and he injects them with a parasite, and they become a level 1 Genestealer. And then when that guy, he lives his life and he has a baby. And then that baby is a horrible monster. And so it would be like this guy with 3 arms and a hunched back and purple skin. But then when this guy has a baby, it would look more like this guy who's just kind of got a lumpy head. And then when this guy has a baby, it'll look like a perfectly normal human. MS Paul, thick boys are built different. Exactly. Frozen Drawing, a video about unassuming bases.
that'd be a pretty good name for a video. How to make unassuming bases.
Yeah.
And these unassuming bases are sponsored by Cobalt Key. There you go. Perfect.
Ominous Mecha, so what do y'all think of the Ogre Abominatus, a Warlord-sized demon, other Chaos Primarchs, or a Genestealer Titan? I posted my reasons behind each guess earlier. I don't know, it all sounds neat. If models come out, then I might buy them, or I might not. Champ Styles, whoa, this is so Starship Troopers. Yeah! I love that movie. Matthew Stillness. Basic bases. Nicholas Breakfield, I can't wait for my skill level to be as good as yours. Yep. It just takes time. And one thing that helps a lot is painting a lot of different stuff. For years and years, I only painted Space Marines. And I got really good at painting Space Marines. But then I started painting a lot of other stuff, too. And then I got good at painting other stuff, too. Is this the color, or is this the color? I think
Damn,
this is the color.
I'm just looking at this article. Wow, they're really releasing stuff, aren't they?
Yeah. Which I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully they're not just releasing goddamn rules.
No, I bet they don't.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. That would be the craziest, dumbest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, we were just talking about how weird it is that it's going to go away.
Yeah.
So this makes a lot of sense. You know, they'll have these special boxes come out.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's just, I don't know, if they're just on their end, if it's just not worth it to have it exist forever.
Maybe. It'd be cool, though, if every, like, now and then they release a new box with 2 different armies, but, like, the same terrain and the same rules. So that, like, you know, if a Tau person can get the box that has Tau in it, a Genestealer Cult person.
You want to hear a secret?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do that anymore.
No, probably not.
I wonder if they'll, like, I bet after the this is my assumption that so after Octeris is done, they'll make a box for Death Corps of Krieg and or Commandos, and they'll just have those be separate boxes.
For sure.
That's what they have to do, right?
Yeah.
Maybe terrain separately too, but probably not.
I mean, people want that. People want those Death Corps of Krieg models more than anything.
Exactly, and people want that terrain more than anything too. I would say
definitely.
People like the terrain more than anything.
Chicken Egg. So Jay, are you ever going to paint a Lagosian Haru model? You know what? That would be a fun experiment to see if we could bring in the weeb crowd. That would be the way to do it. I don't know if such miniatures exist, but I bet they.
If Chicky Nugs is bringing it up, they exist. Do you have links, Chicky Nugs? I bet you do.
Ominous Mecha, please give us a new Farsight minigames workshop. I feel immense hate every time I look at my failed cast one, despite it being on the same standard as the rest of my army. I hope they never ever release any Space Elf stuff, because I think that'd be funny. This is the right color. What color did I use?
Chicky Nugs. I'll see what I can find. So there you have it, folks. And speaking of finding, we're gonna find our way into our beds because we're gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
And we had 2 videos out this week, so make sure you go watch those. And we have a Models and Memories out tomorrow. Can you believe it? It actually happens weekly. And we'll be back with another live stream at 9 p.m. Central tomorrow. And after that stream, a little after 10 o'clock, we have a hobby hangout stream just for the patrons.
Yes, we do. And take a good look at these Genestealer cults because they're done. Tomorrow we're going to be painting a new... Oh, wait. Yeah, no, they're done. We're We're going to be picking a new thing, and the patrons, if anyone's a Patreon supporter, hopping over to Patreon because there is a new poll to see what model I'm going to be painting.
Mm.
All right,
I like
everybody. Good night.
Good night.